Okay, thank you very much, Francine, and welcome to another Business Central webinar, like every week. I'm pleased to present another functionality today, and thank you very much, all of you, for coming. It's going to be an easy topic, but this topic was part of the concepts of learning Business Central for new users. So we have had a couple of webinars that were not related to the new releases or artificial intelligence or something like that. This is coming back to zero, coming back to Open Business Central. If you come from GP, from NAB as well, the idea is to be able to just before coming for the last part of the year, where we are going to be reviewing other sort of topics like closing the end of the year, like utilizing other tools in order to bring the latest information from your operations, and well, do all the last activities for the year for every company. We are going to, meanwhile, just check with new users who are actually just learning some functionality. The agenda for today is going to be explore and use information in Business Central. We are going to be reviewing all the catalogs that we use, all the information that we use. We are going to need just this basic information in order to then later build some other concepts that will be more advanced and are going to help us, and you are going to learn as well today what could you use here in Business Central later for your company. Then, just some other basic criteria like how to filter, how to select data, how to search, an ERP, and now that we are connected within a cloud environment, as well, we are going to need to try to understand how, like internet, which has an entire world of information, but at the end, it's easier to find what you need. So for me, it's more or less the same idea, but within the enterprise concept and the functions that we have for different processes. So let's now just begin with the presentation. And I'm just gonna go directly and jump into the functionality. For this, we do not require a special material, or we don't require special PowerPoints. This is everything about the concepts within the ERP actually, and we are just going to need to start checking all this information. So we are gonna now start to explore. For me today, by the way, I'm working with a Business Central functionality, and I'm going to just open this page. As you know, we are working within a browser now, and this doesn't mean that especially we are just only working in the cloud, but this is the real client that a person is going to actually open when it works with Business Central, because actually you just need a tablet or your Android device or iOS in order to see your page. I'm going to be an administrator in an American company called Kronos USA, and I'm a CRM. I'm a CRM consultant today who is actually implementing, but at the same time, I'm going to be trying to train my new users. So for us today, what we are looking at is some charts that actually come in handy, because when I try to learn Business Central, it has actually these specific functions where we are going to present for you the specific information for your role that you need to start just working, looking at the most important information. So if we start exploring, we're going to see this chart, and this is CRM. Whatever I need to do all the time is just in CRM, I'm going to start contacting people. For me, I have companies and contact persons. So if I'm going to be working with this role, and the role is a set of different responsibilities presented in your screen for your actual position in your company. Let me just show you very, very fast what I'm talking about. So this is the sales and relationship manager, right? Apart from that, I have others like accountant, of course, the business manager, of course, like let's say sort of a director. So he's going to see the actual results of the company. This guy, the accountant, is going to see maybe the cash flow, the expenses, and if he wants to have access to bank accounts, as an example, and so on. I have manufacturing, sales order processor. But in every company, especially if you want to now work out of the box, you are going to have specific modules. The specific modules that you are going to have are going to start with the specific license. We only have two, the basic and the advanced. We call them the basic and the premium functionality. For us, we have finance, purchasing, warehouse, human resources, services, and projects in basics. I mean, except for services and manufacturing, those are advanced. Let me explain you this just to start exploring if you see Business Central for the first time. In Business Central, the idea is that you're going to be working with your, of course, finance module, purchasing and sales and marketing, which I'm going to start with today, and as well the warehouse. So the idea with the basics is that you're going to have everything about your finance and supply chain, all right, which includes then purchasing, sales, and warehouse. If you actually, and projects, that's another one that is going to be, well, sometimes projects is sometimes you are going to be selling to your customers not only a product or a finished product or resale, but something more complex, like you're going to build a building, you're going to give maintenance to a machinery. For that, you're going to need a team of people, resources. You're going to need as well specific schedule for a plan, right? So that's a project. Anyway, you're going to sell it and you're going to have invoicing procedures for that, but the product per se is super complex sometimes, and that's where we have the project module. So specifically, there everything is coming with basics, finance, your general ledger, but with the premium services functionality, if you after you sell something, you need to provide warranty, you need to provide for your maintenance for the products you sell, and even then you're gonna send people on site, and then you're gonna, it's like a field services module. And then the manufacturing, well, is for those procedures that you require to transform raw material to a finished product independently of the complexity of the process that in many levels, right? Within many levels, we are gonna be working on implement this. So we have, like you see here, the regular, most of ERPs have the specific modular menus. So if I want to work within finance, I might look for the general ledger and then click on chart of accounts, right? Very well. So that's the way we're going to be working now. You now know the basic modules, and you now know the two service and manufacturing, the two advanced modules that come with a premium license. So we have the modular menus where you could find what you need. And well, it's there, it's good. And in your first screen, you're gonna see everything related to your responsibilities. If I, in every company, want to implement CRM, well, it's part of my basic license. It's gonna be out of the box, and it's very good because the idea is that you're going to have people contacting, well, your salespeople will be contacting persons in the different companies. For your customers, you're gonna create events, or maybe not. If you have POSs and stores, well, you might as well need to contact special people that are going to be part of special customers, sometimes called loyalty, right? But the idea is that you require to have people, and you need as well, like I'm showing right now, excuse me for that, well, the name and this personal data of the actual persons, right? So CRM actually is going to help you to actually gather all this information, like I'm having here in this so-called contact card. A company or a person could be a contact for me. So sometimes I need just to send them emails. I need to have interactions. This is the way we call them here in Business Central, but it's nothing but how you actually are going to contact the persons that you need. Let me just show you. Sometimes you send letters or create Outlook meetings, phone purchases. And guess what? Even though I don't have to show time to show all the functionality, but understand and explore Business Central, you're going to be able to actually, and Business Central is going to help you to automate all of this, okay? So you have an internal phone extension, so connect your plan to Business Central. Meetings, well, we have Outlook integrated. I'm going to show a little bit. Letters, well, those will be just as well with a help of Outlook, but in this case, well, according to the special information and events and how you contact your people, I'm going to just have this type of interactions, right? So when I sell something, well, the first thing that I do is first, get an initial contact. I have 10 people currently that I'm contacting, like I'm showing right now. Then I do a presentation and I actually start working with these people, with my customers, contacts, companies, and I present actual information about my products. Then I do a proposal, well, trying to making first initial negotiations and at the end, sign the contract. Okay, so CRM is about these specific functions, and the idea of what we are exploring is that you have in this screen all the KPIs or tiles, in this case, these queues are telling you how many, well, contacts I have, open opportunities, which is actually these phases that we have. I have 6 open opportunities, meaning that I either am contacting people, making presentations, okay, to 6 customers or 6 contacts. And well, you can see here that I have in red now an overdue opportunity, meaning that, hey, Noem, you need to start or you need to continue with the previous operations that you were actually just working with. So I having an opportunity here to actually send or start selling storage systems in this example, and well, it's in progress, meaning that I should continue following something, okay? So as you can see here, the storage system opportunity for now is initial, right? I contacted somebody, so at the end I'm gonna visit and I need to actually do the second step, which is actually after doing that, we create a presentation, visit the customer, and create an estimation, make a negotiation with them. So for this is an example of how CRM is being used. I haven't solved anything yet. This is following and try to follow in my salespeople activities. Very good. So now I'm just going to continue and I have contact now, then my customer by doing a presentation, and the estimated value for this sales operation is 3,000. Okay, the probability now is 15%. Well, your salespeople should be able to actually gather information, make the very cool presentation, and then we'll try to get an estimation of its own success. So you can start, and now the idea is that within CRM, what we do is start with this sort of a path of sales operation. After a presentation, I do a proposal, and for that I would need now what I do in my sales module, which is sales quotes, maybe making a sales order or creating a new customer now that I have actual information of a contact. So the idea with CRM, while we navigate, is that you create a contact and then create a segment, which maybe you are actually going to make segmentation of your actual contacts with children, women, man, man, or in this case, in order to increase a sales operation or making a special event. And with this, well, just to continue with other modules, I having an idea to maybe the director told me you need to have an idea, marketing processes in order to actually continue increasing our sales operation. And here I have specific people like Robert Towns, Jesse Homer, and all these people that I have contacted before are part of this special event that I call the Increased Sales Operation. And with this, of course, I'm gonna have other functions for me to maybe send emails to all of these people at the same time. This could include offers, this could include emails, call, create a meeting, and so on. So for me, I just could, for instance, send my attachments and immediately start creating what we call, the last concept would be to have campaigns, okay? The campaigns, well, will be everything related to your contacts, where you're going to be as well creating interactions, sending information, sending discounts, special prices, like here I have sales prices, sales by discounts, okay? And start working with these campaigns, because at the end, this will be the first contact to start your sales operation. That's how, and that's why we have a CRM module. It's not yet start, it's not the sale per se, but it's the people, sales people, following their opportunities with a special sales cycle like I have shown, and they will be having in red and green if they are actually following on time their actual opportunities. And then I have top 5 opportunities chart. So for me, this special 10,000 sales operation or estimated to be solved opportunity, well, it's currently the one that I should follow the most, okay? So no more Excel, no more special notes, you can have everything here in CRM. Okay, with that, what I'm gonna do is start exploring a little bit more. With this, I have all these other tools that I have integrated. Now, Business Central is not an isolated software or tool. It's just working immediately with Outlook, Word, Excel, and all the Office tools. And as well, I have other more advanced integrations out of the box. You don't require any more in Business Central since 2018, a programmer to actually use all the previous functions that used to be called integrations, because you would need in previous years an actual programmer to, for instance, create your reports. For instance, export information sometimes to Word or Excel, sometimes to export to a OneDrive, which is a cloud tool to actually a storage account that Microsoft offers. So everything now is out of the box. You just need to request your apps. Okay, let me just show you an example so you can start understanding how this works and start working easily with this. So for me, the main idea is that I will be, for instance, if I require to have Excel or OneDrive, you just would need an Office 365 account. And like I was mentioning, we have you don't require any more programmers to have more functionality if you need so. Let me just explain you. I have what we call extensions, which is in first place, many, sorry for that. Extensions would be just different applications that you are going to have available for a Business Central. Maybe you require handhelds, very common. Maybe you require an online website, right? So you could explore your apps, and why not select one of them, and immediately the vendor is going to, the software vendor is going to immediately contact you so you could verify which functionality they can offer, how much it costs, and immediately with any application, you're going to have immediate functions integrated. That's what Microsoft did. Let me show you an example. I have Power BI. It's not Business Central. Power BI is a reporting tool very commonly used now, and this is the main reporter for Microsoft. So in Power BI, you're going to have great schedule, great reports that will be presented for you, for your organization, where, well, you could get the actual reports that you would like to present maybe to your board of directors. Let me show you some examples. I have the Power BI reports. Let me see if I have, look at this. Well, you could have maps, you could have charts like this, very beautiful, right? The idea is not learning about the application. Believe me, there are more than 1,000 applications, not only reporting tools. This is just an example. The idea is that if I want this to work for me, I just need to sign in with my same Business Central account, which is today I'm going to be the OD administrator, right? So maybe I like these reports, but I need to do something else more advanced. So that's the idea. Now, whenever I need to start working within Business Central, the second step will be to work with the sales operations. Let me just start navigating through that. And the second step will be like working with as a sales processor. The sales processor will be in charge of following. Actually, CRM is an optional module that you could use or not. You could provide that function to your actual salespeople so they can follow up their processes. But the main idea of having CRM at the end will be to create your sales operations. As a sales processor, I'm going to be able to immediately open a screen that is going to show me all my sales activities. The salespeople needs to review if some information or the sales orders were actually shipped to their own customers, because they need to take care of their customers. And here they can see what is delayed, partially shipped, or ready to ship, their returns, and as well the activities. So I have two quotations that I have open. This could be as well the same CRM people, but in this case, let's try to take a look. I have the sales quotation document that is a draft. So I'm making negotiations maybe now with my customers to specifically sell some items. So I have the sales quotation to sell to Alpine Sky House. I'm having this item, which is a swivel chair, and this quotation is just a draft. Previously, well, for this, I need to review the item availability. So Business Central, if you try to explore information, the main activity that you need to do after you actually create your marketing processes, well, in the actual sales operation, the most important thing is, hey, let's take a look at the real availability. And not only that, I just need to review maybe by day, week, month, quarter, etc. I also have planning suggestions because I have Cortana and I have just my actual replenishment process internally for this company created. But I have at this point a -3 in this case as a process for this day only as availability. So I can tell this customer I don't have for this specific date actual inventory. As you can see, I just need to wait. But you could, I don't know, start checking another weeks. We could check even the entire month, because I actually have 36 on hand, okay, 35, very good. That's the idea. That's the idea of the process, how you need to start working in the all-around criteria, okay, to start selling. Now, I have the possibility to add attachments. Remember that you could create a file, maybe a quotation. And for me, I have also the possibility to create internal notes and have communication among my teammates. For me, if I also want to have further communication with the people, I have another tool that is called Teams. The salespeople need to have communication and they need to actually post sometimes like Facebook or a chat or a meeting. So they have to do all of that at the same time. Well, you would like to, and you need a tool in order to actually process all that information. And like am I doing in my company, actually I have chats, Teams, and I have a calendar where I can see my appointments, I can make phone calls, and I can actually attach files. Look at this stuffed calendar with a lot of meetings that I have. Now, if I need, I could attach some contact lists. I have as well, another meeting that I have added for the people that I actually, my customers, right? Where I actually add some PowerPoints, Excel files, so a contact list because as well I'm working in OneDrive and with the Business Central, I actually request when I sell something, well, to have a backup of my contact list. Nevertheless, my contact list now that is completely integrated with this tool to create chats, Teams, calendars, or make phone calls. As well, my Outlook, I have if you see, I have Outlook here within Business Central, and you remember that I have contacts that are actually in CRM. Everything now is integrated in a modular way. I was mentioning that it's not an isolated type of tool. So you tell me what you need within all of this, because I actually going to implement at the same point the same concept that I'm presenting to you. So the idea is that you make some quotations. These are not real sales operations yet. A quotation is just a quotation. It's a draft, it's a model. You are just negotiating possible prices, possible items that your customer would like to have. And then, well, all these documents, notes that you add, and that will be actually traveling to all these other tools that I have mentioned, well, will be showing here. If I attach documents, you would need just to review and file that is in your computer. And remember, well, everything is just a completely out of the box. I'm going to attach the sales budget for me. Maybe it's not necessary to have an Excel. Maybe I just would need to attach the actual email conversation or something like that. But the idea is that I have the attachment and as a note, urgent operation. So the entire company is going to see through this document this actual information. Now, after I have reviewed the basic availability, if I have, well, you just would need to create and make an order. Once you create the button, make order, I'm gonna go to the second step. The make order function is going to help me to actually create a sales order. And with this, I'm going to need to check the customers, the items, and GL accounts, okay? But take this concept. I have created a sales order. Any ERP have sales order. Now I'm just actually open this to see what Business Central was offering to you. But the difference is that whenever I open a sales order, well, from here I'm going to be actually to have the three-way call or the so-called three-way matching process. I'm going to be able to locate the actual items that I'm selling, which is 5 swivel chairs, color green, but as well, I'm going to be able to see, well, at this point from where I'm going to be able to sell, I have three warehouses. I'm going to start selling from the main warehouse. Look at this, the available inventory in this warehouse is lower. Very well. So the idea from here is that you're going to be tracking your inventory, quantity to ship, and you're going to be tracking your invoices, quantity to invoice. As good as well as I'm just working now, you're going to have customer details, and some warnings, the available inventory, and the balance for the customer. The actual salespeople need to review if a customer can as well pay in this case. So you as well need to understand if you're going to be able to actually send and print the actual inventory, and not only that, you also have approval workflows that you could send. Well, not all the time used in this case for sales operations, but you have here documents like the shipments sent through this sales order or the invoices. Okay, so remember, we are exploring. Here we have the contact person that was created for CRM in this case, and as well, everything is completely integrated with Outlook. So with this, I will be sending an email confirmation, a picking instruction, or attach. If you don't need to work anymore manually with Business Central. That's almost forbidden from now on. It's almost no manual operation. Whatever you need is going to be created and automated for you. So within Outlook, you could immediately send it through an email, and this order immediately, of course, is created. Okay, so we're going to be customizing for you the information. Okay, if you understand now the regular process, well, we have more here because we have calculations about when you're going to be able to send something. Your customer is going to ask you about when he is going to be, when it will be the earliest possible date for you to send inventory, and this is as well automated. Okay, so I'm not going to continue further because the sales process is very, very complex at the end for calculations for delivery, but let's get to the basics. For this, you need to understand and review for the first time the customer list. I also, I forgot to mention that we have a searching tool that if I, for instance, I was trying to look at the customers. So it's very cool within Business Central that you could just create a search by specific keywords, and this is going to give you more ideas than only what you have in the actual ERP. You have reports, you have internal documents in your company, how to do something. For instance, hey, this is the first time I'm working with the Business Central. I need a manual. So how to set up customers, how to create a customer, how to block sales to customers. So you're gonna have from now on, if you ask me to give you our manuals within Optimus that we actually have and we offer for you in every webinar, and we have our website for you to actually check information. If you wanted, you could have it here, no problem, as a document. Or why not to attach your documents from your company and have them here as internal documents. You might have them as well. You really, really sometimes need to check. I don't know, maybe an accountant need to check all the previous Excel files in order then compared to an ERP sometimes, okay? And of course, I mentioned you that you have applications that you could just connect. So maybe you will need to check from the Microsoft App Source what type of information we have for emails, okay? Or for customers, okay? So we have, in this case, 74 applications created, sorry. So if you want to actually look for apps, maybe just navigate maybe a new programmer did something really cool that you would need, or you are looking for special functions. In this case, for customers, will be maybe related to invoices, scanning invoices. Well, you could just actually just look into your searching function to look for new applications, look your documents, and of course, all the information within your own ERP. I have the customers, the contract gains and loss, whenever you use contracts, and of course, some specific reports, okay? Always reports. Hey, I don't remember what was the name of that report that I saw once or whatever. And the beautiful part about all of this is from now on, you could tag any search that you would have here, like the customers. Well, So in this case, I need to also review the customers and the contracts. So I'm going to tag this specific row and the color change. So as well, the customers, I'm going to tag this because once you tag an idea that you have searched or found through your actually searches, well, guess what? Everything will be here transferred to your actual menus. So the idea is that this is very cool. You don't need a programmer as well. You as a user can search for applications and extensions, but as well in your menus, you don't need a programmer anymore to create your own special menus for you as a user. As well, all these action specific menus that I have here, for instance, the sales operations, the sales operator needs to look at prices, line discounts, credit management. Well, as well, tasks, sales returns, sales quote. Let's click on the sales quote and immediately this is going to open a quotation for me. The sales operator from now on, as any other user, is going to be able to personalize manually their own screens. As well, you're going to be able to just change the entire screen if you don't like what you see, because the idea is that you change the actual, even you could add fields. So it depends on what you open, but look at this. I'm going to be able to change the actual screen that you see. So it's going to be important because I want to create, and you could ask for me, Noe, please design a special screen with specific charts, with specific, these beautiful squares, but telling me if I'm the sales operator. Not only show me the sales order, but tell me in the screen the credit management or the cash flow or these ideas, right? So look at this, I have the balance for my most important customers. As well, I'm having here the trailing sales order, how many sales orders I have had throughout a month. So I just change in the screen, and from here, I'm having the option to change fields. But I'm going to open what we call a list. Let's try to remember now, from now on, this part. You could move, hide, or actually run in order to open. In this case, look at this, my sales, my customer list, okay? You can see this beautiful picture, the balances, and here, some statistical information. Very good. The statistical information per customers, of course, will be related to the sales operations, okay? Ongoing orders, ongoing invoices, etc. You could navigate through all of this. But for those of you who are actually just learning, the idea that I'm trying to express is that all the menus, all the screen, and whatever you need, with just maybe 1 week or 2 weeks training, you're going to be able to do whatever I'm doing. Not the actual processes that requires more about what, whenever we go through an implementation, we're going to give you the best practices idea, all the functions that you will be requiring either to see, to present these demos. That's why we have these webinars for you to understand. And as well, whenever you need something, we're going to be able to implement. For now, whenever I mark a field, I could add or get rid or move the specific fields, move them up and down. Now, this is a new function that I like a lot. So you as a customer, if you want to add or drag and drop, for instance, from this specific menu that I have some fields, I could drag and drop and change my fields as well. Not only the specific blocks of information like moving an entire picture or moving an entire set of squares or tiles, moving them up or down, but also your fields and your actual menus. Once you understand this basic concept, well, the most important for this idea is to present the actual customer card from your list, where I'm going to have the actual, now only for not forgetting CRM, but now introducing the actual information for the customer. Well, you could actually immediately create a credit limit for this customer. That's often what we do to protect ourselves. And Cortana or business intelligence will review for you whenever you sell something, not only the credit limit, but the history of payments to tell you if something was actually, or maybe your customer is going to be paying on time or no. So now that I have this specific customer, I have the address, contact information, the invoicing. You could show or map the address. Now for me as well, the invoicing information is going to tell me everything about the taxes. In the USA, the taxes depend only on the specific geographical area. Okay, so I have this, but it depends on the taxation in your actual country, how you want to tax, well, how this customer is going to actually be helping, or whenever I create a sales operation, how taxes will be then just applied. Okay, shipping functions, because this customer would have sometimes only one address to deliver, a delivery address, or maybe in this case two. So you can decide where you're going to be delivering whenever, well, and from where you're going to be actually selling. So to this customer, I always deliver to use raw from my main warehouse. Okay, just general concepts. Checking the card, well, as well, we have for the sales operation the items. Okay, as the general way, I'm just going to now open by looking as well at my search function. What do we have in Business Central when it comes to items that you can sell? First of all, we have a regular list of items. We have service items that we sell, and later as well, sometimes you could have a warranty. Why not? To all of this. Whatever you need to have warranty, we have it, okay? And catalog items. Let's start from the catalog items. You don't require to actually create an item all the time. You need most of the time from your vendor to receive the vendor items, import them in Business Central. We can show you how to do it. It's very easy to have catalog items. A catalog item is a catalog. In this case, I have furniture, straight back chair, rocking chair, computer desk. That I don't actually have in my inventory. This is not my real company catalog, but I need all the vendor catalog to present to my customer. And if they want them, well, I'm gonna sell them. But as well, I'm going to create all the items that I require only, that are important for me, that I actually sell. But with catalog items, you could have an entire catalog, maybe the entire catalog that your vendor offers you. Let's upload the catalog, that's why it's called catalog items. And well, you could actually just, in this case, I only have 4, but actually I would have 15, I don't know, 20,000 at least, right, of catalog items that I could offer. And yes, through an actual sales order, you can not only sell your items, but the actual vendor item catalog, just by adding the actual vendor number, the vendor item number, and well, we have some other type of information like the prices, the barcodes, etc. But the idea is that you need to start offering any actual item, and as well, now let's take a look at any catalog item that you need, not only your inventory. Well, it depends how you need it, okay? This is the idea of showing you what is here. Now, the actual item information is just the actual company's catalog of items. In this case, I'm selling, look at this, furniture. I have a desk, I have a swivel chair color blue, and let's take a look at this information. Why not? Whenever you see an item, well, in Business Central, you could assign like well, the general information will be here with the item number that you are having all the time. And I have a picture here, and we use what we call attributes. Now, these are important for your customers. They require specific information, like in this case is blue, sometimes, well, at least for furniture, right? We have as well the dimensions, depth, width, and height, okay? And the material description would be important for them. okay? So this is very important because as well we can create reports with all this statistical information, and well, as well for the actual pictures, we as well can import them and automatically you could import a picture like I don't know, let me see if I have some other charts that are like this, because I don't want to change something that is not reliable or good. I want to show an analyzer. Business Central comes with an analyzer to give you the actual attributes that you could have, like the color, like, well, this is just a demo environment. Let me just attach just a random picture, nothing important for now. That's a well-there picture. It is not a shirt. I'm just trying to show the specific function. I'm importing a picture, right? But for me, I would like to analyze the picture of the series. Sorry, it's not enabled. Well, if you saw the color, the depth, the width, and all of this, well, my analyzer is not connected yet. Sorry, I have just verified, but it's going to help you, giving you all this information. If the analyzer reads a brand, it's going to give you, hey, the brand or the color is, instead, in this case for this picture, is red, right? So the analyzer will show me and give me some information for my pictures. Now, the important thing about the items, of course, will be the prices, the quantity on hand. This is going to give the sales operator the actual information when you sell something. The availability, because I do not only have 3, but I have 20 that are coming to my company, 20 unpurchased orders that I will be receiving on specific different dates. According to the orders, well, I'm going to be receiving on expected receipt date this item, right? With this actual cost and all of this, right? The idea is to understand that your item is going to actually have just the general information for the purchase, sale, the information that will be important for your sales operation as well, right? You could offer special prices and special discounts. So why not to set a discount for a customer? You remember that we have campaigns from CRM, and maybe why not to offer to all my customers a special price? But what would be that special price? You could decide it here, maybe for an event related, well, as well to a minimum quantity if you purchase, sell, and your customer is going to be able to see that if you actually have more than 10 units operation, I'm going to give you a special price. Nothing else. Okay, so we have special prices and we have discounts as well. Well, the item functionality has plenty of information. We have barcodes, identifiers. Oh, here is the analyzed picture. So let's see if it works. No, it's not connected. Okay, now as well, we have cross-references, different unit of measure, translations, and substitutions. So if I don't have this item available, what I will do immediately is try to find an item that can substitute, because I want to, let me show you now another item. I need to continue with the sales operation. That's very important. Once you know the availability, once you know how many items you have in your company, and once you know if you have special prices or discounts, that's why I'm starting to show the design coming from the sales perspective. Well, that could be offered, but not only that. The idea of having this is not to present the actual entire item information, but to navigate, okay, to understand Business Central. And once I have this, well, I could, for instance, look at my item list, and you remember now I could actually open this window and have now another window for me to start checking with the Business Central, a second window for me to continue working, right? So I have now 2 windows that I could use to continue actual operation. So you could open as many windows as you need. That's something that I actually love, specifically because I'm an accountant and I need to review my reports. I have 2 or 3 or more screens, and I need to check within Business Central sometimes, or well, in this case, looking at the items and the customers, you could actually make a presentation to actually show this window, looking at the beautiful pictures of the items, or through a meeting. Hey, look at the new items that I'm offering. Why not to start showing my catalog items with my real items, okay? So you could make a combination in a presentation. And well, for me, Business Central, behind the scene, I would not only show my items, but I as well would like to see the actual credit limits for a customer as well. So multitask with multiple windows is something that is very, very important. And with Business Central, this is something that we will be doing right immediately. This is something that I love. Like I said, specifically for accountants, it's lovely. I look at my reports while I post in my journal and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Coming from here, I as well need to understand what other type of items I have just to finalize this catalog. With this, what I would like to do is open, why not, another screen just to present another window, right? So just that. Now with this, what I do all the time as well, I have categorization for my reports. So I want to see and I need to categorize my items in furniture, chairs, desk, tables, whatever. Okay, just to start working and create further reports. Different type of items could come in handy when you don't need to stock inventory because you might actually sell some special services like I'm doing now, consulting service. The consulting service is not something that I stock. Well, the service as well, anyway, I would need to start counting how many hours does Noé apply, right? Whenever he actually start learning or making these trainings. So how many trainings you offer or how many hours? Well, anyway, I need to count that, but it's not something that I stock in my warehouse. It's completely different, right? But that's a service that I will be might be working with a unit of measure hours. And non-inventory type of item. That type of item is not as well something that I stock, is not countable, don't require a physical count, I cannot transfer, I could transfer or move it, but I don't require warehousing processes. I just need to actually have this item like the office supplies to purchase my pens, to purchase paper, and so on. That's what we call a non-inventory. But the idea actually is that I'm actually just opening different screens because as well, I just would need to change all this information and start working. I'm learning. Well, another type of option while you are searching and learning Business Central is that your lists this is the list of items. Well, you could change if you just, according, for instance, in this meeting that I'm presenting, I'm selling you my furniture. I need to show you the pictures, but when you are not with me, I just would like to change it and look like a list. Okay, this is very, very cool for me because this is the way I would normally be working just to find my items or to see special information, nothing else. I'm not actually gonna work that way. Another very cool feature, especially when I work alone. When I work alone, if you come from GP, you have the idea of the smart list. The smart list is a view or a basic report most of the time that you're actually going to present to yourself to understand special information in your company for a special list. And I'm presenting the item list because it's the largest one. Well, if you want, you could create now, without the need of a programmer, your special smart list. And for me, as an example, I have created the blocked item list, the items by location, the items due for count, right? Because, well, depending to your necessities, if I'm a sales processor, I would like to see, I don't know, the item quantities, smart list, right? Remember that I'm working with a multitask window. So look at this. I'm looking, this could be important for the salespeople or maybe for the warehouse clerk as well. So I have the list of items showing me the quantity on hand, the quantity on purchase orders. Remember that you could actually you can actually design your own screens, right? Well, that's why the smart list idea coming from GP was brought to Business Central to present you these columns with this functional information, functional data coming from a database or historical data, right? So the same idea of the design, now I brought the same concept now, but with actual data coming from the items. That's what smart list is. So tell me what columns you need in this example for items only, right? But the idea is to present these columns with actual data because I don't know, I might, let me show you the option. I might need to open this information in Excel. So Business Central is just, is just integrated with my office tools. I'm learning, remember, that, well, I would like to have this information maybe to create a pivot table later. If you create reports or something like that, if you continue to do so, it's not a problem. Or if you wanted, you could do this in your actual smart list like I did, okay? Otherwise, I will need to export or I would need a programmer to tell me, hey, can you create a report with these specific characteristics, right? So remember, this report that I have exported to Excel is what we have in GP Smart List, but if you haven't seen that yet, the idea is that you have specific information in your ERP and at least in columns you would like to have it. It's not a specific report. It's a huge difference because in a report you might have totals, calculations, charts, etc. But this is the actual source data. Coming back to the ERP, in a moment, I'm going to continue with the specific explanation. Let me just close all these tasking processes that I was trying to present with all these windows that are not anymore necessary. I would like to present the vendor card because this is another of our basic catalogs. And here I have all these people. I need to purchase once in a while. You remember that I'm selling furniture? Well, these are my providers. Very good. Now, whenever I need to create something, I have the possibility to immediately, of course, pay to my vendors. Look at the balances, okay? Let me open for the first time a vendor card. The vendor card includes information, of course, about the vendor, the general, the address, the contact name, and the telephone. Okay, I can see here the balance, how much I actually owe to this vendor. You could click on any of these statistics to immediately navigate into the actual, because vendors is something that I need to check by or with a microscope. As well, I can see that I need to pay 3 invoices just by clicking at the balance, and I have one in red color, meaning that, well, this is overdue. Okay, overdue invoices will be always presented in red. Incoming document files is because we have not only possibility to attach, but we have a functionality to actually scan actual information to fill Business Central documents. I'm not going to present, this is still quite basic, a webinar presentation, and you need to review your actual statistics for overdue amounts, the payments that you are doing, no refunds, okay? And of course, how many purchase orders you have. I have 2 purchase orders with this vendor and 2 invoices yet that I still have open. Once you have that, I have some other information. The taxes, well, I'm purchasing from Atlanta is a domestic vendor, so I'm going to be paying domestic taxes or national taxes. It depends of the type of construction for your country. Important thing from here is that you could review the open vendor entries and the detail. You could actually create quotations, send orders and return orders, or just create actual purchase orders. So this is the vendor card from where I'm going to be actually presenting the regular information for my further purchases. And remember, we can request approval. We have approval workflows in Business Central now, or previously, most of the time were only used for purchases. Now they are as well used for almost anything that you require or that requires a catalog. Think of it: creation of items, creation of payments, creation of customers, whatever. Now, this is now possible. In this case, you can see if you want to create a vendor card, you have the possibility to send an approval request. Okay, so in other words, the main and most important catalogs, remember, is items, customers, and now we are reviewing vendors. You have the possibility to previously, so nobody affects or somebody can review your actual information, so it's not mixed, it's not messed up. Well, you could create an approval request, and we have tools now in Business Central to help you to find the duplicates and actually just merge them. Okay, so that's an actual tool that we also have now in Business Central. Okay, so for me, the idea of the request approval workflow is because we have it now for all your most important catalogs. Now, another concept, just to continue checking or explore a little bit about Business Central, is of course the chart of accounts. Let me just change a little bit just to be today not only the sales processor, but look at more functions. I'm going to be the accountant. So why not as well, while this is opening, understand the concept of a batch, because I'm working today as in my demo environment. Okay, so now you could add different colors to your different companies whenever you work with a multi-company environment, and change this maybe to another, maybe larger or smaller demo signature or batch, or maybe another color, right? So this is only for Kronos USA. Okay, but we can change it for you, so it's easier, because with different windows, we don't want you to mix information. Now, the accountant is going to review the payments, the document approvals, financial process payments, and some tasks. Okay, nothing else, but they can see the accounts. This is the money that I have in my company, considered as a liquidity liquid asset, and well, for that we have different type of accounts for this. Okay, so as well, I have my finance performance. Well, it has been quite constant, because this is just a demo environment that I have just created. I have posted more deals of sales or payments or sales operations. So, but all KPIs that were previously measured, specifically in the accountant world, we review a lot of KPIs, okay? And we have our financial KPIs, of course, but all of them out of the box for you to be presented in a chart, for you to review in a historical way with this chart, so you can understand, I don't know, inventory cycle, in this case, the sense of inventory, and we have plenty of charts that you can actually use, the cash flow, income and expenses. You tell me what you would like to see, and we are going to put it here. And maybe you can design and tell us what you need, and we are going to put it in your screen. These are just examples. I have as well, Cortana is explaining for my company in the near future, well, what would be according to the actual cash flow combinations that I have in my different modules that I have just worked before: sales, purchase, receivables, payables, tax payments, and the totals, whatever. So I have different combinations in this chart with different colors. You can see if you change in any chart, it's going to be happening the same. If you toggle to see a variable, like in this case, okay, let's take a look at the sales orders. Okay, in May, okay, you can just immediately click and look at more data just by looking at the chart, And if you want to see in the future, well, the cash flow forecast is created in the future by Cortana. So they are going to expect according to historical data or the actual progress for your company, expecting a specific a forecast in the future whenever you need it. So you could have maybe a specific or a second opinion as an assistant, okay, that is going to tell you in the future maybe what will be the future receivables, the future payables, the liquid funds, the future sales, and so on. This is very complex, but it's presented for you for the accountant. And as well, another example that you could have, we could set up for you the setup guides topics, okay? This is something that I always create for my first users whenever I implement Business Central. We're just finalizing a couple minutes this webinar. Whenever you need an instruction or a manual or a video, we could attach something in your screen according to your necessities, so you could have specific manuals whenever you need. Get ready to create for the first invoice. So why not to open an example wherever I need. This is not going to be able to be shown, but it's just a manual. It's just a manual. It could be a Word or something like that, okay? But what I wanted to present after we create a basic navigation into this accountant screen for the role center, of course, that I will need to look at my catalog, the chart of accounts. In Business Central, what we do with the chart of accounts is always generate your company's GL account segments and financial reports. And we are going to be starting with the just general catalog coming with the balance sheet and with all the numbers for all your GL accounts that will be presented. And here, this is not Smartly, it's just the regular, the change and just the balance, okay? And here we could add some other information for you to be presented immediately according to your needs. And here I have the account numbers and the descriptions. So I have basically the balance sheet, the income statement, and the actual specific subset of accounts in specific segments that you require. There's nothing else interesting, it's just the actual chart of accounts. But for me to be able to present and learn a little bit more about this, whenever we start working, we do not have only the chart of accounts, but we consider the chart of accounts to be important only as long as it is not this 1,000 or 2,000 GL account list. What do we do? How do we do it? We are going to be now in Business Central slicing and dicing the information and helping to make your life easier. We don't like and we avoid this type of super big GL accounts, and we have a way to work around and to work better for your reporting procedures and for your specific accounting transactional processes. Let's just try to make a very brief review. So let's think of a general GL catalog, but of course as well, what we do most of the time, well, we have a GL account categorization. So, well, we have the current assets, the cash, the fixed assets, the liabilities. And we present the same information with the actual, without the just showing just a catalog, okay? Just by category, which comes in handy for further BI. So in Business Central, we focus more later on your totals, so you could actually, and we can generate KPIs for you. Okay, these are automatically created by Business Central, and this, well, is going to then help us to create what we call the financial basic analysis. But the idea is that we don't require a big list of, remember that rule that we don't want to have a very large chart of accounts. And for that, we have the dimension idea where we have in this company the departments by we have different departments in this company, and we have customer groups. But why not we have the business division or business group, or I would like to call it areas. Better. Okay, I have an areas code, and you could, I don't know, create a dimension value. According, this could be different in every country, but this will be North, maybe the region, the second region is central. The third region, of course, is south. And why not? Maybe some other countries, like my country where I'm today, this is USA, but I have also sales operations in Mexico. Sorry for that. Well, so I have different geographical areas. I have different departments. And as well, I have sometimes stores. Store number 1, store number 2, store number 3. Okay, so let's take a look at this. The idea is that you have different criteria in every company. So you need to report, and not only report, it's because this is actually a financial process that I need to review. The stores by themselves have specific profit in every store. The areas, well, would be more important for me to review a sales report by geographical area. And as well, by department, I would like to see Office 1 or G&A, General Administration Department, the Financial Department, the Warehousing team number 1, Warehouse team number 2. Okay, so I have different departments. Okay, so how could I use my financial processes if I just depict all of these ideas in my actual chart of accounts? That's impossible. That would lead to a very large chart of accounts list. Okay, remember, the chart of accounts is just the chart of accounts coming for every GL that is functional for me to post actual information. Okay, so we are going to be combining the chart of accounts with the dimensions in order to create actual reports. So tell us what would be your criteria for the financial transactions, like I'm showing: geographical area, internal departments, salespeople, projects, stores. Okay, so let's say that then we're going to be dividing your P&L by any of those ideas, but that wouldn't be a special report. That would be the actual functionality. That would be that the people are not going to be just posting into a GL account, but they need to select the geographical area from where a sales operation came, so you can divide it. Or let's just try to then depict that into the actual report. Let's see where it is. Account schedules. Okay, so I may have an income statement, and this is something now done by the accountant. Okay, you don't require any more a programmer. Well, actually, this is a previous idea that Business Central had, where the income statement is, let me see, let's open the account schedule. Oh, it's not yet created. Let's see. Okay, where you as an accountant, the idea is that, for instance, I have here my P&L, okay? Let me see. Oh no, this is cash flow, the cash flow review. I just wanted to open the actual P&L to explain this idea. The P&L, well, starting from income. Now, well, you would be able, as an accountant, to now filter by, in this case, by department. Okay, I have, let me see, 3 departments in this company: administration, production, and sales. Okay, so I don't know, I would like to see the expenses for any of my departments. The idea is that you don't have anymore to create a special GL account for administration, special for production, or special for sales. Just let's create or let's review maybe the payroll expense account. You need just to create the payroll and tell us here what will be your department. So you could immediately combine them, slice and dice the information like I'm doing just right now. I would like to review the chart of accounts for only for the sales department if you want it. Okay. As well, not only that, to review by day, by week, by month, by quarter, or maybe further analysis. You don't only require to review the net balance, the net change, but maybe the balance, or why not the period definition for bin charts? So not only for bin charts, but maybe you review last month against last year, or by previous month, or for the year to date, and you could, as an accountant now, any financial information review by all these criteria. This is by quarter, day, week, etc. You have here the change, or even you could have budgets. Budgets for us, of course, will be a forecasting for the same GL or financial reports to have in the future a benchmark against the actual information. So you could have it here and show maybe the budget, okay? But the idea of this type of tool is that we call it account schedule, is that you, the accountant, you are going to be able to select not only the chart of accounts or just a fixed report, but now you are going to be able to actually change all the variables that you would like to see. It depends according to the actual criteria, okay? But we have the budgets, we have the dimensions. In my example, it's by department, but this could be by store, like geographical area, or whatever you need, okay? So the dimension filter will be there. Now you could change the columns to review only the change, the year to date, a comparison for specific periods, maybe comparison against years or something like that, okay? But that's the idea. This was a tool that, well, the accountants will be used to, because they are always trying to look for specific views of financial information, and they require not only the fancy or very beautiful report with charts, but they only want to see their numbers and with specific analysis for dates, specific analysis for variables, geographical area, business unit, and so on. And well, all is in here in the system, so why not to have a tool that can pull all that for me whenever I need it. So that's the GL catalog. That's how we use it in Business Central, and that how is then we are going to be finishing today within this exploring webinar for almost just some functions. Remember, we are learning, but remember, these catalogs, these functions that I'm showing is only for Business Central. We are integrated. You have all these different functions that I have mentioned with multitasking. You have now all these functions for your type of items and so on. Okay, so we have plenty of other information to explore with Business Central, but for now we need to finish. Thank you very much for your time. And if you don't have any other questions for now, next time we come into with Business Central, you can send me actually your actual request if you want to see something. Well, in this case, remember that we are going through a basic, I know we are going through basic information or analysis, or in this case, like exploring Business Central for the first time. But if you need something more advanced, you want to see an integration. With this that you're learning, sometimes I'm having a request for specific apps. So Business Central is the ERP, is the main ERP, but sometimes I have a request about, hey, what would be the integration with Outlook? What would be the integration with the handhelds or something like that, right? Because we remember we are exploring. So you can send me that information. I have plenty of previous webinars showing more capabilities, more advanced, or if you need some basic, like, hey, I would like to see not only sales or purchase or the basics, but sometimes, Noe, I would like to explore the actual advanced functionality, because within Business Central, I'm looking for manufacturing. I'm looking for providing field services. So I send my people to provide maintenance or to build. If you are renting, if you have a building team. So in order to explore, well, I was just showing the very basic modules with just the basic catalogs with the functions that are very handy now that we are working within internet or HTML page. Okay, so for now, if you don't have any doubt, please let me know any requests for training for more advanced. And I was saying sometimes I have applications or Android apps requests. I forgot to mention that we don't only have extensions like Power BI, but we have Power Automate. The Power Automate is per se, now with this new Android revolution that we have had from the last 5 to 10 years, well, plenty of different programmers or plenty of different concepts that sometimes you would like to use your camera or your applications in your mobile device where you have digital access through your mobile cameras. You can send attachments, right? Well, those tools can be used within Business Central. We can create an Android app to present some of these functions and maybe create some buttons that could help you to review items, to navigate within Business Central with special app. Maybe you just would like to create an app just to create and to see reports, or look at this. Maybe you could have an app that you want us to create for you, where you could see only your payments as an example, well, for accounts payable, right? To only present your overdue payments, right? Like this. Okay, Noé, is it possible to create an Android app with these great functions where I could see the possible, and I could apply an invoice against a payment because my my people, or maybe your people in the warehouse, the customers in the sales side are coming to your warehouses or to your stores to pay, right? So why not to create an Android app to present the invoices with the overdue balances, where you could just mark them and click a button to register a payment once you receive the money. Okay, give me your idea. We can create an app for you. That will be quite advanced for this type of webinar, but just for you to learn, this is called Power Automate. Power automation done for Android and iOS applications, and where we can create something like that for you. Okay, so I have actually previously, I have in my previous session an entire explanation for all the integrations. We have a PowerPoint. We are now only checking Business Central, but previously we checked some other extension application. We reviewed some other functionality for you to start exploring. So this is just the second part where we are more focused on the actual information for the new user that will be now only reviewing Business Central. Thank you very much. I haven't received any doubts so far. So thank you once again for your time, and see you next Wednesday, like any other, like any week. And well, have a great time until we see you again. Thank you very much.